Very near Laval here. Staff is 14 people, and we are building, our business is building haptic devices. And more than that, it's interactive solutions for, mostly for industrial customers. You've got some information here. Our technology for the haptics is developed by a French research center, CA List, and Claude is going to give a talk about his team later on. I'm focusing here on what I call interactive physics simulation, which means simulating the physics of the virtual world in real time in an interactive way. And in this case, we're using full body motion capture to animate a virtual human. And the virtual human is doing a task inside an industrial environment. So the method is that we consider the virtual human as a robot, or if you want, as a kind of doll that we are moving around. And the behavior of that robot uses the laws of physics, which are integrated in real time. So the benefits of interactive physics in this case is that the movements of the doll are continuous. You don't have no jerks in the movement. You never break the kinematic chain, so you never have the head lifting away. For example, you can comply with the joint limits that you have in your model, and also you can stop on the collision or on the contact information in the environment. So you will not, the robot itself will not cross a wall if you say the wall is active and you shouldn't cross it. And another benefit, and I'm sorry I don't have time to go into that, is that you don't need identical anthropometry between your person and the robot. An idea of a use case, this is very recent. At Kennedy Space Center, they are looking into the manufacturing of the new manned spacecraft Orion, and because this is a very closed and cramped environment, they need to simulate all the activities that will be done inside this capsule during the assembly and manufacturing. And for that, they have several operators working with the same tools or the same parts. They need to move around. And some of the questions are how to optimize the assembly process while guaranteeing that an operator will not hit an expensive piece of equipment in the way, and how a quality control engineer can be at the same time inside and look at what the operators are doing. So because, again, this is a very sensitive equipment, very expensive, so they need to prepare everything in advance and document it. So this is what we're doing today, and today with our technology we are able to animate in real time the same people virtually in a V5 environment in the industrial context, and document it by recording the animations as a CAD data.
Thank you, Jérome. I'm Julien BERTA. I'm the Vice President for Technology and Innovation at MECHDYNE. So who is MECHDYNE? We're an integrator of visual environment, visual display solutions, and our activities range from consulting and planning of visualization centers, advanced audio, video, and 3D environments, graphics computing, putting together clusters, software, which is a division that I'm part of, and global support for these environments. So when you look at visual environment solutions, you have a number of different parameters that you look at, from the display size ranging from personal display to fully immersive, from 2D desktop to a full-blown cave system. And then you have to look at, what level of immersion do you need? What level of interaction do you need? Is video conferencing and remote operation a parameter? What are your interaction technologies that are going to be involved? So these are all considerations that come into the general design of a visual environment. As an example of such a complex environment, we're looking at here a picture of the Chill Lab from Lockheed Martin in the United States. You can barely see it, but this is a center where they have a very large motion capture volume here, 4 head-mounted displays, 4 monitors giving visual feedback of what the people in the head-mounted displays are looking at, and then an observer position inside this cave system here. Someone can observe the simulation on the cave system and on the rover system, which is a single channel firewall right here. So not to jump into the meat of the presentation too soon, but this is the type of environment that this solution that we're presenting today is targeting. This is the type of system that is of interest here. If you want more information about the Chill Lab, you should go to lockheedmartin.com/products/chill. There's a pretty good looking video of what is it that they're doing there. So, like I said, we're about immersive visualization for the most part. So what is that, in case there's any doubt in anybody's mind? Well, it's a set of display, compute, and software capabilities that primarily put the user inside the data. So an example of that would be to use our Conduit product, which is an OpenGL middleware that puts desktop applications in VR environments. Take something like a Delmia V5 simulation here, distribute its rendering on a render cluster, and drive a cave system, which is what we're seeing in this picture here. Okay? That's your part?
Okay, that's the game of collaborative presentation. Some words about the industrial needs now about this collaboration. The type of industry we are looking at are mostly transport industry, so meaning automotive, aerospace, shipbuilding, military, where products are complex. They need to be manufactured in a given time within a given budget. And there are all sorts of issues like not only manufacturing but also maintenance and training for the operators. So this is the type of usage. Simulation, answering the questions of manufacturing processes in terms of tooling, what kind of procedure need to be done, how to train the operator, and what is the ergonomics of the work cell in the end, in order to avoid any repetitive strain injury. In all cases, our target customers want to design right the first time, meaning that they will, after the project has been designed, the factory has been designed, it's ready to run without having to come back to design to solve last-minute issues. And that's the ability to do it right the first time has a major impact on the cost of the product in the end. And also the competitiveness of those industries is very high, of course. The delay available for designing a new product is continuing to be reduced. In automotive, they're down to 24 months for the whole project of building a car. And finally, we need a realistic human simulation with a number of factors here which are mentioned, which is that the person responsible for designing all the procedure need to perceive the world at a natural scale, otherwise they might produce wrong results. They want to perform natural gestures and also collaborate with others. So looking more specifically on why immersion and why multiple users in the same environment, a number of scenarios come up from our target customers. First, one is having one operator evolving in the virtual environment with some outside viewers. So this is typically the case when the human factors team is looking at one procedure being necessary for assembly or for maintenance. So again, one operator is immersed completely and the others are looking from outside with different point of views. Sometimes they want to share the point of view of the operator, sometimes they want to have different point of view. Then we have the case of several operators. For example, if they need to handle one large object together. Then the case of a design engineer who has the knowledge of the tasks that should be performed, but the procedure has not been written yet, so the operators have no idea what's going on, and the design engineer needs to point at what they need to do now. So now dismount this, and now take this tool. And one solution for doing that is to immerse the design engineer himself inside the environment, so that he's got an avatar and he's really showing not the procedure itself, because that's the role of the operators, but showing what are the tools, what are the parts that need to be done. And finally, a new problem is to have one quality control specialist supervising the operations, and in the end he will need to be on site. So his position in the room, in the system, is also important. He needs to know whether he has the correct place to be there, but also the right view to be able to look at what the operators are doing, and to be sure that in the end he will be able to do his job. So moving on the technical solution, so of course, as you imagine, that's somehow clear, we try to combine our two technologies, coming from HAPTION, which is the real-time animation of the mannequins in the V5 environment with optical motion tracking, and the conduit solution from MECHDYNE doing immersive visualization of the data inside the same V5 session with multi-user immersion and with this first-person view at scale 1. This is very important, to have the natural scale. So this is why we enter this strategic partnership, which we bring a step forward here, to bring high end-user value to our customers. So guarantee the performances in terms of latency, in terms of the complexity of the models that we are able to show, to visualize in real time, and also in terms of advanced functionalities like real-time collision detection, and also the recording of posture, which are really natural. Now, a small video about the architecture, and I'll give the word to Julien.
Thank you. So like Jérome said, the HAPTION portion is providing the data flow from the mocap area into the V5, and you can see the operator animating the mannequin. The conduit portion, let me play that again. Conduit portion takes the graphics from V5 and distributes it to multiple viewers. So in this scenario, we have one operator performing the task and one observer supervising it or quality controlling it from a different perspective with different navigation parameters, different display, different stereo attributes. All of this can be different between the multiple operators.